person, don't do shitty things to people. Like, you could have just left me alone. I told you in the text message I sent you, please do not contact me again. And you did it anyways. And then last night I said, please don't call me again. Please don't text me. I'm not mad at you. We talked for forever. It was very calm. He acted like, he said, of course, he always tells me he's tearing up. And I don't care. Like, I physically feel no feeling. It's weird. But also to tell me, I said goodbye. Oh, I almost said his name. I said goodbye, and then I said his name, and he said, this is not goodbye. This is good night. And I said, I'm being very serious when I tell you, do not text me or call me again. Goodbye. And I hung up the phone. And here we are. And I don't want to stress about this anymore because I want to get cute and go shoot some freaking 3D targets in the woods by my damn self and not worry about anything. And also, like, I'm what made him special, so I'm not sad about it. At the end of the day, like, if you can disrespect me, like, my friends are not going to like you. It's never going to work. So enjoy your party. I hope you and the flower shop girl work out. I don't know what's going on with your ex-wife, but again, none of my concern. Actually, I don't care if it works out with anything. I just want to never hear about it again. I don't want to talk about it. I don't. Nothing. Like, I'm not that sad. I'm more sad about Joel and Ray for sure, times a million, than I am about this. But I think it's because I'm more proud of myself in this situation for actually figuring it out and calling it out. I'm not disappointed, but I know I still have some growth to do, or otherwise I would have cut it off, like on the cruise ship with Carissa in February. But I let it go because what he was showing me in front of his face was the right thing. Also, here's my dating tip. Do not believe anything they say before the word but. If they're like, you're my dream girl, but I don't know if I'm capable of meeting your expectations. If someone says I cannot meet your expectations and you know you don't even have any, get out. That just means they don't want to do it. I'm like, what makes you the happiest between me, your ex-wife, and your job? Last night, he's like, you. I said, what makes you the least stressed out of me, your ex-wife, and your job? He was like, you. I said, who do you call when you're really stressed out and you just want to feel calm? Like he always tells me I calm him down. Me, your ex-wife, or your job? And he's like, you. And I said, what was the thing? Who do you think is the easiest to handle out of me, your ex-wife, and your job? And he's like, well, of course you. And I'm like, then why are you trying to make a boundary around me instead of any of those other things? But also, I don't need to know the answer to that question because you could take all that off the table. The way you acted last weekend was an absolute fuck no for me. And the fact that this is the weekend that my dad died and you want to double down last night and call me back and make sure that you feel like it's you're breaking up with me, right? Like on this weekend when you know I'm going to be alone all day today and tomorrow. Like, come on, dude, fuck off. You're not that special. No offense. But I don't have any ill will. I don't wish any harm on anybody. Tip for the ex-wife though. I do think if you let him reduce his child support, he'll go to first, third, and fifth weekends. You know, there's some people that you're just like, you know, that they would probably rather have that life. But you got to pay child support. So that's none of my business, and I don't care, and I don't want to talk about it. I even asked him, like, do you not talk to your family about any of this stuff? He said no. I'm like, you don't talk to your sister? He's like, I only see her twice a year. She lives in Frisco. I was like, you don't talk to your mom and dad about all the stuff that she's doing or all the stuff you're going through? And he's like, no. I'm like, it's so weird. Fuck, I talk to anybody. Talk to my friends on the internet. I don't care. Anyways, okay. Hope it looked cute. I gotta go. I love y'all. I don't really know why it all happened, but I just know my phone.
The co-owners of that horse and saw Cumin.
It's loud, Krista.
Since the bull coming up here in our
James just turned on the TV.
Oh, I'm not trying to be mean, but it's kind of odd. No, he's almost 40.
I'm going to cook dinner. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
I love you, bye. Stu's not helpful today. Yes, we do usually text during the day.
A horse with Michael Dubb and Richard.
Hang up. Hold on, I'm reading their comments. I just got here. Okay, and this is the other thing, the emotional support animal. I told him, like, I'm not here just to be your emotional support animal. Like, you vent every day about all this shit that's going on. But then when the actual, like, birthday party comes, you don't say anything. And when I was talking to him at Chris's house on Monday, when he was, like, for 2 hours telling me how he was sorry, not, like, going on and on about what he'd do to fix it, just, like, telling me, like, I didn't mean to not call you. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. But, like, okay, bro, don't call. I am not the bitch who's going to let you call me at 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, I told him that's just unattractive to me. But what was I talking about before that? Oh, I said, you tell me all your stuff. Like, I'm your emotional support animal. Like, I'm fine to be emotionally supportive for you. He got very adamant that I am not his emotional support. And I'm like, huh? Like you told me I keep you calm, I make you call me and your day gets better, and like that I'm make you feel like home, and I'm the only person that makes you feel safe, and I'm the first person since you were married that makes you feel like that and all this stuff. And now today you're like hammering home that you are not, I do not need you for emotional support. Then I'm like, then keep all your shit to yourself, because last couple weeks we ain't been asking about anything in my life. We just been talking about your job and your custody shit. I don't know. It's exhausting. Yes. Hi, Shay. Yeah, that's what I said about the Z. I'm like, you did that so if she looked through your contacts, like I would be a Z. Because most of the time you'll like quit before you get down there. And I'm like, if you did that thinking of that, like that's like extra layers of like crazy. I'm not sure if he's back with his ex-wife. I don't think he is. I don't know what the 6 month thing is. Like she kept telling him if you don't move out, or that's what he says. If you don't, no, I think I did see that though. If you don't have a plan within 6 months, I'm gonna go get full custody. Because he would explain it as he has help from his parents, obviously, because they live there and she didn't. And so she wanted him to not have help. That she only agreed to 50-50 custody because they were both gonna do it single parent wise. I don't know. I told him like she should care about what's best for the kids and not like, which I didn't like telling him anything. Like it's none of my business. But he would constantly ask and say stuff, so I just would answer. And you don't want. I told him yesterday, like I wish I could just be your friend sometimes and give you boundary advice, but I had romantic feelings for you, so I don't want to go backwards. So sorry. And also, I think the things that you did were like manipulative, and I just don't want to be friends with somebody like that. Yeah. Yes, that's the exact same thing I said. She said he made it Z because if someone scrolled the context, it would be the last item on the list. Like he went and got an STD test before we had sex. Like he did everything I asked him to do. Like he sent me FaceTime videos, sent me the paperwork from there. Like he was on it. Like I said, I'm not going to sleep with anybody unless they get an STD test. And within like 3 days, he was at the doctor's office. Why does his ex-wife have access to his phone? He said that if she took a picture at the birthday party, then she would see what was in his phone. And I'm like, tell her no. Tell her use your phone. He didn't want your Rebecca Boo text popping up and tell him who you are. He knew you'd see the name that way too. He's likely trying to get back with the wife, which your gut thought back when we talked about it. Yes, I told you that a couple weeks ago. And also, he knew you'd see it. He knew you'd see it and it'd piss you off. So he even laughed about it. That's the part that it would like triggered me with the bin thing. Like he was like, her. He was like, yeah, that looks real bad, don't it? And then I made this really cute video of us at the ranch and he acted like it made him, he may have said that like it made him get teary eyed. Well, then one day he tells me that he sent that video to his group text and that he told all his friends I was in love with him. And I'm like, why would you say that? Like, don't say I'm in love with you if I'm not. Also, I'm not giving you those vibes. I've told you like I told him less than 2 weeks ago, I'm not your girlfriend. Stop saying I'm your girlfriend. But I did say it too, so I'm guilty of it for sure. But we will not be considering this someone. My last boyfriend was Joel. My last situationship was Ray. But I'm not mad about Ray. I don't like some of the ways he moved, but also I gotta give the guy credit. Like he really did try to be patient, and he got my fat ass back to the gym, and I'm hot now. So now I'm like hot and an archer. Like what's next? Like I'm not that sad about all this. Actually, I'm not sad about it at all, if I'm honest with you. And I think that's like the most like accomplished part of all this. I'm not sad and I'm not like crying. And I was crying last night because I think I felt so stupid. And I felt like alone for a minute because like, you know, this is a weekend when that my dad died. And so I don't want to have to be dealing with like fucking bro from out of town with the baby mama sitch. And like when I just want to like feel the feelings of missing my dad or not feel those feelings, which is what I originally wanted to do. He's getting in. Yeah, he said he's not tech savvy. Also, I do think I said something about like I don't want to be involved with you because I don't want your ex-wife to jump on the blogs and say anything, and that's just too much. And I've never even thought about that before, like if someone's ex gets on the blog. But like obviously they would do that because they could control the narrative about what the public thought about my relationship with him. They could go say like, "Oh, well, that, he was at her house last night or whatever." Like I don't want to, and he was like, "Not everybody's like that." Okay, not everybody's like that, but do I think that you probably read what they wrote? Yes. And I told him that. I was like, I bet you went and read what they wrote. I do not do that. You can see. And he knew. I've never pulled it up once. I've never done any of that. I sent him screenshots somebody else sent me. And like he highlighted the words that they wrote. And then he made that meme and all that. But I just felt like I was being deceitful to you guys by letting y'all think that somebody else made that horse. And then when y'all pointed out like how gross it would be for somebody to do that on their own time, I was like, he did it like making fun of them, and y'all think it's crazy too, and I think it's a little bit of a red flag, so maybe we're right. Yeah, and I also think like maybe he wanted to like cause all these problems so that he could go to that party and then I wouldn't bother him because I'm not like that. And then he could come back on Sunday, but that they would never know about me. Because if he brought me to that party, it would make it real. But it was just weird to me because like I saw their text messages and they would ask like, "Are you the rancher?" They text him and he was like every time they would text him, sometimes he would show me and he'd be like, "See, look, they're asking if I'm in Northlake. Are you?" But they never like said my name. They called me Northlake, so I don't know if that's all. Like, FYI, I'm not from here. Hi, Leah. No, and that was the thing. Like, I would sit here and think, like, there's no way that if I want a masculine man to lead me and like biblically lead me, this is not it, you know? But I also like number one, I was having fun, but I wasn't even the fun. I didn't need fun enough to put up with any of the crazy shit. But like I said, the point of this video is not to tell y'all what happened, but just so that you understand, because so many of y'all are in my DMs like, am I going crazy? Or you look like you found love too, and blah, blah, blah. And like I've told him a million times, like, I'm not in love with you. Like I just barely said I like you back like 2 weeks ago, and shit hit the fan after that day. But because that's exactly when it started being like super weird. That right after, or maybe that's when he went to the crawfish boil with his friends, took a picture, his kids took a picture with the girl. But why do you have like, why do you have copies of that picture in your car? When I get out of your car, you make sure every single thing is taken out. But now you like got this picture of some random girl that you don't even know with your kids and your friends, which is no big deal. But like, if it was a big enough deal for you to say that your wife's losing her mind about it, why do you physically have the pictures in your car? And I didn't even look through all of them. I think I just like picked it up and probably saw the first two. I don't know if he's in the ones after that. And maybe he was dating her the whole time. I don't know. To me, I told myself no because you know you're going to be in the public eye if you're dating me. Like, that's just how it is. Like, every single date I've ever been on, somebody's taken a picture and put it on the internet. I don't like that. Think it's weird. But like he seemed okay with it all. So I didn't care. Cuz I don't care cuz if you get to know me, you'll know very quickly. It'll show you how crazy they are if you get to know me because you'll realize like wow, she's like a hot mess in her real life, but in relationships, she's like real chill. Cuz I'm just observing. That's it. I move accordingly. But also I don't want to like fall in love with someone's potential and I wanted to really reserve myself this time because I'd had my heart broken with Joel and then I honest to God do think I had my heart broken with Ray. But I learned something. First of all, Joel ended up with the girl who's perfect for him, and he wouldn't have been the person for me long term, even though he did fill a lot of the voids that I needed, like safety concerns, like that kind of stuff, made me feel safe and stuff. But like alignment wise, he doesn't hunt, doesn't do that like it just wasn't it. He's with a girl now that I think is literally perfect for him. And with the Ray situation, like no, I said a million times I wish that I wasn't the girl you met right after you got divorced. If I met him a year from now, it would be probably a different story. And I don't say that like in a hopeful way. Also, his ex-wife follows me on Instagram. That was weird. Not because of this, like she already did. But also like I love people. So I'm like, good, then we can be friends if something works out. Mm-mm. And I think I need to like stop living in the bubble sometimes and realize, see, because I'm not like that with Ben's girlfriend or whoever. I would be so nice to her. I've never spoken to her in my life before because he's disappeared 2 years ago as a dad. But like, I would be a cool ass ex-wife. So I always think like, oh, I could be friends with her. Sometimes it can not work with somebody and y'all just not be each other's vibe, you know? Like I would congratulate Joel if I saw him on the street. Like I genuinely am and it was so nice to have that feeling of calmness and not anxiousness when I did find out that he had a girlfriend. Because I just know that the person that God has for me, he's going to check all those boxes. My expectations, even what even rancher guy said, your expectations aren't unrealistic. But then to tell me you're incapable of being able to meet them, like that says a lot about you more than it says about me. And it also tells me like, you gotta go, sis. Also, I'm a bad bitch. You don't get this for free. No. Like, if we're being honest here, I I just needed to get back to normal. I got the confidence I needed and the gym time from Ray. I got a hobby from this one. And maybe I'll get love from the next one. I don't know. But I'm not looking for it. If it finds me, good. I'll be on the archery range. That's all I got. Also, I really wanted to tell y'all what was going on at the thing last weekend, and I feel like everybody could tell I was freaking the fuck out, and there was nothing I could do about it. I just had to shoot. And when I tell you I went out there and cleaned house, I did. If they want to, they will. That is true. Also, it's not just their words and their actions. Their actions can be good, but their words too matter. And if you say something that triggers you and then they do it, there's only so many times they can say, I didn't mean to, before you're doing it with intention. And then like there would be little things like I sent him a request on Instagram and then he didn't like accept it. And I'm like, that's weird. Like and I didn't send it till like 4 or 5 days ago, to be honest with you, because I've never tried to follow him or anything like that. His Instagram was private. But I was like, you know that I sent you a request. Like it's like you're intentionally, and I said this like 2 months ago. Like sometimes I feel like you're doing things that are like intentionally malicious. But then he would cry and I'd be like, no, no, no. I'm just I'm just still triggered from before. But the thing was, because when I was with Ray, he would do stuff and I would be like, this doesn't make sense. Ray's deal was like, he liked me and he liked the value of me and all that, but he didn't want to settle down and he shouldn't. He just got divorced. Like he needs to go out there and heal and feel things and all that. But also, please don't confuse any of this as I want to be back with him either. I talk to him all the time. We're friends. I actually feel I can have platonic relationships with men. It's okay. I 90% mean that. Okay. He used what you told him to convince you? Yeah. No, y'all should have heard the conversation with the guy friend about going to the ranch after Easter. I'm like, why am I on this phone call? Like, yeah, and I kept saying that last night too, like about how this weekend is like really hard for me because my dad died and I just don't want any. I even told him from the very start of the day, like, I don't want to talk to you if you are going to do anything other than if you are going to stress me in any way whatsoever. But also, guys, if you don't want girls making videos like this, then maybe when she tries to leave your manipulative ass the first time, you just let her fucking go. And I don't say that like ugly. Hold on. I thought the living with his parents was like a good thing. I was like justifying that. I was like, look how much money you're saving. I was like, why does she care so much if you live with your parents? But I can't say anything. Like, look what happened to me in my divorce, and I rent a house now. My rent's $3,500 a month, and I feel like I'm broke as shit. But like, I've definitely survived the last couple of years. I have no opinion about that, honestly. And I was thinking, like, if I ever did end up with somebody, I don't want them to go buy a house I don't like. So maybe it's a blessing that he hasn't bought exactly what he wanted yet, because. But then again, I knew like it's never gonna get that far. Because the other thing too is if they don't ever talk about how you'd fit into their future, but you're like their everything right now, that's a red flag. But I didn't really want to talk about future stuff because I wasn't on that same emotional level. I think this whole situation just annoyed me because once he did get me to have some kind of feelings and emotions, then it was like, oh, and just don't do it on a weekend like this. Like you already fucked up my archery weekend last weekend. Don't do it. Like if I would have known going into that archery thing that I was single, I'd have picked my head up, sis. My head was down all weekend because I was like crying and like emotional and all that stuff. And somehow, by the grace of God, I still look so freaking pretty in those pictures, which I think is a God thing because I think those are some of the prettiest pictures I feel like I've ever felt with no filter, no nothing. And I was like crying while I was shooting. So it's an absolutely fuck no for me this weekend. Like, I already have to be really sad and think about my dad and my divorce and how my dad died, which one day y'all figure out, and that's fucking even worse. That's like a double-sided thing. But like, to do all that and then to do the stuff that happened yesterday, I was just like, no, I don't want to mislead my friends. And I feel like he was getting a lot of joy out of, like, being the Hidden Valley Rancher. Like, that was his idea to pick up the ranch dressing in the store. But you can't mistake that for like support when it's really just like emotional immaturity. Like, I have 5 pages that ChatGPT wrote and told me. So, maybe it's 3. Also, every single time that he would go out with his friends, he would not call at all overnight. And he'd be like, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. Or like, not every single time, like during the thing, but like in end. So, is that okay? Or don't send me pictures or like FaceTime me with your friends and all that. And then be like, I was just out being Blake. That's what he told me the other day. Well, okay. Yesterday when he was like, or the other day, he's like, are you ignoring me? I was like, I'm just being Becca. I ignored the ick because I felt like it was a shitty thing. It was a shitty thing to have an ick over a guy just because he only shot 1 buck and 2 does. But it was a huge ick. I don't know if I would have been able to get rid of it. And I did tell everybody at the archery thing. Somebody said, Becca, what you've gone through is going to make anyone be shocked and speak like they're empathetic. But that does not mean they understand or have the capacity to walk through your healing. And I'll tell you, part of me growing and learning through this process is I said early on, like, he's good at being empathetic and like writing me these long novels and paragraphs and like telling me how he feels so much for me very early on. But also, I think he has a problem with like emotional intimacy, if that's weird. So, and I don't know, because it's weird to say that when I feel like he was really emotional with me, but he was really emotional, like in a way that would like bring me in and not a way that would like open him up. The text messages, you would think there was a time where I was like, if I was ever going to make a TikTok where you highlight all someone's text messages, like instead of thinking like I'm going to do that in a positive way, I told Carissa, like, I just want to post a video and be like, all these things can be said and all this stuff can happen and they can still do the shitty things. They can still be like hiding their ex-wife or whatever. I don't know what they're doing with the whole ex-wife situation. I just know that it's weird and they, they, I don't know. They still follow each other on social media. I thought that was odd, but maybe they have a good, healthy co-parenting relationship. Turns out they absolutely fucking don't. Also, if your family blocked her because she said some shit on Easter, how come you didn't? Like, that just blows, like, they're not blocked from each other right now, but like your whole family blocked her because you said that she wanted them to take down some pictures. Like, I don't get it. But okay, I don't even care. They definitely don't make them like they used to. Yeah, he said, I don't introduce just anybody to my friends. And I was like, you're right. And my internet friends will never meet you because I don't introduce just anybody to them either. So there'll be no hard launch on the 24th. The 24th will be about a little boy who trudged through more shit than he had to and a mom who always showed up for him. That's it. But I don't want to meet anybody. And I think when you really feel like you don't really want to meet anybody, like, it's just different. The flower shop girl is the girl that he told me like 3 different weekends that his wife was accusing him of dating. So I was just confused, like, how's she not accusing you of dating me? I wrote happy birthday to my favorite ranch hand on your video. I mean, on your Facebook wall. Y'all are friends. I put a heart emoji after it. But she's asking you about the Britney chick. So I don't know what's the deal with the Britney chick. I'll never know because I don't care. Shay said you're doing okay. He's problematic. But I also understand why my friends thought I was overreacting because in person, there was no question. Like, he just dotted all my I's. Except for the one time when I said something about opening my car door and he said, I don't need to do that. You're fully capable of doing it on your own. And that was a red flag for me. Not a red flag. It was like okay, maybe he's just one of those kind of guys. But from now on, open my car door. I think it's nice. My dad would expect you to do that too. But then he would show up when I didn't ask and mow my whole grass. So Or he would like tell me, you are never going to be putting oil or air in your tires again. I can't believe you have to do that right now. Please know that you're never going to have to do that for the rest of your life, that you should never have to do that. And I'm like, okay, but enjoy that party tonight. Feel like y'all might have something to talk about. I'll leave this here. Nothing is the flower shop girl's fault, no matter what. The girl who jumped in the picture. Like, would it be nice to know why she was in the picture, why the ex-wife got mad, all that? Yeah, but do I care? No, because I don't want any. Like, I knew making this video, there was absolutely no chance of us talking again, getting back together, or whatever, nothing. Yeah. But also, it's more important for me to make sure you guys know that when you feel crazy, it's not always you. And for me to not feel like I was like just making it up or trying to escape or whatever. Like, it's more important than me getting back with him for sure. I'm never gonna talk to him again. And I knew making this video would be like the nail in that coffin. But like the coffin was closed. Yeah, getting into your feminine too, it does take a really special kind of guy because he has to carry the weight of being masculine. And a lot of guys can't do that. Ben definitely wasn't. Even my own dad wasn't a masculine guy in that way. Like, I bossed him around my whole life. But also, I asked him, did she used to boss you around all the time? And he'd be like, yes. And I'd be like, was she the one making all the plans? Which, yeah, she controlled the relationship. But I don't always think that's a bad thing. Like, that was their dynamic and it worked for them. I don't know why they got divorced. I just know they did legally get divorced. Um, I don't know. It could be because of the drinking thing. That's a big deal to me. That's a lot of drinking. And I told him about my dad and about DWIs, and I was like, you're like, it's gonna happen. You got to stop doing that. Also, it's very unattractive. Like, I was freaking out that night. We went to Fort Worth. He wanted to pull over on the side of the road and talk about it because I was like, you're not driving me home. Like, I'm not doing this. And if you feel like somebody is hiding you, like, don't just sit with those feelings. Because to me, I was like, no, for sure he can't be, because you could see my social media. Like, we have mutual friends that are friends with his ex-wife too. So like, he can't be hiding me. Yes, he can. He can tell you you're the best thing in the world, and then he can still be trying to keep it a secret from everybody else. Why? I don't know. But also, I don't like you enough to care, if I'm honest. If you're going to watch this video from the beginning, I would, yes, honestly, it was very exhausting. And especially last weekend, it was exhausting because you just want either like cut it off or make it right. But like, don't leave me in limbo. And if you're going to leave me in limbo, I'm going to cut it off. And now I'm just at the point where I don't care if I'm right or wrong. I'm done. Last weekend, I was like, maybe I'm overreacting. Like, they just told me I was. And Krista says I'm not, but blah, blah, blah. But like, she was there for all the conversations. Like, no, can't say that stuff. And now I gotta go blow some arrows. Oh, if you watch this video from the beginning, skip to like the first 10 minutes because I like rambled for a long time. I don't know. Sorry, I suck at this. But I just wanted you guys to know. Could have told this short story a lot shorter, but anyways, okay, I'm gonna go. I love y'all. Thank y'all for being so excited for me all the time. I'm sorry I'm here like talking about it on this page, but I can't go live on my other page, and I just feel so guilty that everybody's like so fucking supportive. And honestly, the fact that you are is what makes people, businesses, and men still believe me when I speak, because it's hard to believe the crazy shit that Crystal and Ben are doing on the internet when I have thousands of you guys who known me for over a decade who can say like, I know her inside and out. And this was a situation where I didn't want you to not know the ins and outs. I have no shame at all. I will talk about anything I've ever been through because it's always a lesson for somebody. This time it was a lesson for me, and that's okay. I'm so proud of how much I've learned and grown and the work that I've done, that it's okay that I come off however I come off right now. And there's literally hundreds of comments in here, so I know you understand. Those comments won't come back though after I post this video. So if you had a question and I didn't answer it, just ask it on the actual post. It'll post on my Busy Becca's Closet Club page. I may eventually take it down because number one, I want that to be about, like, we'll have closet chats like this in the future, but this isn't something I like want to harp on for a long time because I literally just don't care. But for the people who did have the question, I'll post this video on Busy Becca. So all those people in my DMs who saw all this unfolding, and I still want to post the Waffle House video, and I want to post the video I made from the ranch because that was me enjoying my life. And I don't think that just because it ended that I can't post it. I don't have to be angry about it, but I just think like it's my whole life is like one big book, and it's been that way for a decade, and that was like a very short chapter, and it's done. Yes, I'm going to share it to the other page. Like the fact that I went through the shit I went through in my divorce, and my intuition is so good now. I went from no discernment to losing Lee Beth, who was the most discerning person I knew, to then losing my dad, who was the second most discerning person I knew, to now I feel like I am just the fact that I could pull off the level of calm that you have to be to shoot archery. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, for as dysregulated as I was with all that stress, not knowing what he's doing, not knowing what's going on, getting this push pull all day, he went out all night, like, what's happening? And I'm about to introduce him to my family. And then to still have shot as well as I did, to me was like God telling me, like, look, like, you're fine. If you do what you're supposed to do, follow your gut, which is me talking to you, I'll pave your way. And I firmly believe that's what happened. He let me show out. I told somebody at the archery shop yesterday, there's not anything I've achieved in my life. No business accolade, no Inc. 5000 list, no marriage, no nothing that made me feel as good as I felt last weekend. And that is wild considering all the things that were going on. But it wasn't about me hitting the target. It was about me being able to regulate my emotions in the midst of an absolute shitstorm, knowing like if I end all this, my friends are going to be annoyed. My Instagram friends are going to have a million questions. If I don't end this, I'm still have questions. But also, I can't think about any of that because I have to hit that target. And so to me, like, that made me feel like you have grown so much. So also, it's way more fun to be the single girl. Like, are you kidding? Toodaloo. Okay. Anyways, I don't mean any ill will towards anybody. I don't have a bad opinion about the ex-wife or the Brittany flower girl, whatever. Good luck. I don't wish any bad on anybody. I just kindly ask that you stay the fuck away from me, please. And it shouldn't be hard. He's an avoidant, so good luck. I don't care.